Good morning, everyone. Myself, Nabila Kazi, will be taking the subject for you, that is cloud computing in your NSCIT Part 1, Sem 1. Let's begin. So first we are going to understand that what are the course outcomes. Like you as a student, you are going to learn in this particular subject and what you will be able to do. So as a student, you are going to learn what is the basics of cloud computing, what are the key concepts of virtualization, what is virtualization, types of virtualization you can say. Then you are going to understand what are the different cloud computing services, that is your as PaaS and SaaS. Then you're going to see how you're going to implement the cloud, what are the key components of AWS, and how do you design a cloud infrastructure. So you as a student at the end of the day will be able to do, like you're going to define cloud computing and you're going to memorize the different cloud services and deployment models, describing the importance of virtualization along with their technologies. You will be able to understand what are the different cloud computing services, how do you use them, how do you design them. You're going to analyze AWS Google Cloud Platform and you're going to describe the key components of AWS as well. So now we are going to just see the contents which are there unit wise into your subjects. So the very first we are going to start with unit 1. So here it is divided into 3 chapters. So the first chapter is Introduction to Cloud Computing. So the topics which you're going to look into here is introduction, historical developments, building cloud computing environments. Chapter 2, Principles of Parallel and Distributed Computing. That is, you are going to see into your the topics like eras of computing, parallel versus distributed computing, elements of parallel computing, elements of distributed computing, technologies for distributed computing. Next, third chapter is virtualization, where you're going to see what is virtualization, characteristics of virtualized environment, taxonomy of virtualization techniques, virtualization and cloud computing, pros and cons of virtualization, and some of the technological examples which will have virtualization as a concept, that is logical network parameter, virtual servers, cloud storage devices, cloud usage monitor, resource replication, ready-made environment. So basically, we can conclude that in Unit 1, you're going to understand the basics of cloud computing, how it is done, how it has come into existence, and what do you mean by virtualization, how it plays an important role in cloud computing, that you are going to understand here. Next, in Unit 2, we have again 2 chapters. So the first chapter is Cloud Computing and Architectures. So here you're going to see introduction, that what cloud computing architecture means. You're going to see some fundamental models. You're going to understand what are the rules and boundaries of this cloud computing architecture, cloud characteristics, cloud delivery models, cloud deployment models, economics of the cloud, and open challenges. Next chapter which we have is fundamental cloud security. So here you are going to see all the security aspects of cloud. That is, what are the basics, like what is confidentiality, what is integrity, what is availability. So this basic concepts we are going to look into here. We are going to look into different type of threat agents as well, that is malicious and non-malicious threat agents. We are going to see some cloud security threats which are commonly, there, and which is affects cloud data. So we are going to look into that as well, along with the considerations for the same. And we are going to look into some industrial platforms that is nothing but your cloud platforms, that is AWS, Google App Engine, and Microsoft Azure. Next we have is Unit 3. So your Unit 3 is divided into 3 chapters. So the very first we have is specialized cloud mechanism. So here you're going to see what are the different specialized, or you can say specific type of cloud mechanism which are there, which helps you to simplify your task, make your things easier. So we are going to see that. So under your specialized cloud mechanism topic we have is automated scaling listener, load balancer, SLA monitor, paid per use monitor, audit monitor, failover system, hypervisors, resource centers, multi-device broker, and state management database. Next we have is cloud management mechanism. So here you're going to see that what are the different ways to manage your cloud, how you can do them, okay, remotely, how you can do them basically. So the topics which you're going to look here is remote administration system, resource management system, SLA management system, and billing management system. Next we have is cloud security mechanism. So here you're going to look into that If you want to implement security, then what are the techniques, what are the mechanisms which you can adopt just to make sure that all your cloud data is secured and confidential. So we have some examples here, or you can say mechanisms here, that is encryption, hashing, digital signatures, public key infrastructure, identity and access management, single sign-on, cloud-based security groups, and hardened virtual server images. So basically, you can see in this unit 3, we are going to understand that if you have your cloud data, how you're going to manage that cloud data, how you're going to protect that cloud data, what are the security mechanisms you can do it. If you are if your cloud uh, stored remotely, then how you can remotely manage those services. So we are going to study that all year. Next, we are moving to unit 4, which is divided into two chapters. So the very first we have is fundamental cloud structures. So here again we are going to deal with some more elements in advance, you can say, or in detail you can say, for your cloud architecture, which will have topics like workload distribution architecture, resource pooling architecture, dynamic scalability architecture, elastic resource capacity architecture, service load balancing architecture, cloud bursting architecture, elastic disk provisioning architecture, redundant storage architecture. Next, we have is advanced cloud architecture. So here we are going to see some advanced topic with respect to your architectures in cloud, that is hypervisor clustering, load balance, virtual server instances architecture, non-disruptive service relocation architecture, zero downtime architecture, cloud balancing architecture, resource reservation, dynamic failure detection and recovery architecture, bare metal provisioning architecture, rapid provisioning architecture, storage, workload management, and architecture. So here we are going to look into somewhere advanced topics with respect to your cloud architecture, how you are going to implement them, how they are going to be done into your cloud environment, and how they are helpful whenever you talk about managing your architectures over the cloud. So we are going to look into that. Next, we have Unit 5, which is the last unit. Has two topics, two chapters, sorry. So the first is cloud delivery model consideration. So here you're going to see that you, uh, as a cloud service provider, or you as a cloud service, you can say consumer, what are your perspectives, what are your considerations, what are your needs, what are your requirements which are there that we are going to study here. Next chapter we have is cost metrics and pricing models. So here you are going to see what are the different business cost metrics, what are the different pricing models which are used in cloud. As we all know, there is pay-per-use model, there's tiered modeling. There are different types of pricing models which are used for giving the prices for the services. So we are going to look into that. What is software quality, service quality metrics? We are going to see that. What are the SLA guidelines, that is service level agreements? We are going to look into. These are the three reference books which are there as per your subject. So the first one is Mastering Cloud Computing Foundations and Application Programming. Second is Cloud Computing Concept, Technology and Architecture. And the third is Distributed and Cloud Computing from Parallel Processing to Internet of Things. So we are going to start today for just an introduction that what actually is cloud computing. So you're going to start with the unit 1 and the chapter 1, and the topics which we have here is introduction, historical developments, and building cloud computing environments. So let's begin now. So first you're going to understand that what do you mean by cloud computing? Okay, so always remember the word cloud here simply refers to not just a cloud which has range into it, but rather we have an internet services which you are giving virtually to the consumers. Okay, so that is actually a cloud here. So this cloud simply refers to internet where you are providing services virtually, you can say, or you can say remotely. So cloud computing is the delivery of computing services. That services can be have servers, that can be storage, databases, networking, software, analytics, anything which you are providing over the internet, that is nothing but the cloud. So that cloud here simply refers to the word internet. So the reason why we do use this cloud computing, we can have faster innovation, we can have flexible resources, and we can even have economics of the scale. So the best part of cloud services is that you can pay for what you use. It is just like your electricity bill. How much you are using, you're going to pay for that only. So in your cloud services, you're going to pay what you use. Okay, so with this, you are actually reducing your operational cost if you don't want any in-house setup. Okay, you can have your own infrastructure, you can have your own requirements, and you can scale quicker and faster as well. So if you talk about cloud computing, it is provide you, different types of hosted services over the internet. That is usually services are divided into three. That is as, PaaS, and SaaS. As stands for infrastructure as a service, PaaS stands for platform as a service, and SaaS stands for software as a service. So what are the characteristics or benefits of the cloud? So the very first is benefits of the cloud is cost. Okay. So it is going to actually eliminate your capital expense. You don't need to buy your hardware and software. You don't need to run your own data centers or set up the own data centers. So it is actually reducing your cost. Second, we have a global scale. So it simply refers that you can easily or globally you can scale, you can add IT resources, you can eliminate IT resources, you can increase your bandwidth. So it is so much flexible, and this flexibility comes only when you are hiring a cloud computing services. Next, we have is performance. So performance is something which is a very, you can say, important characteristics in your cloud computing, because here you're going to all whenever you're going to be connected, you're going to always connect it to the secure data centers. You're working with the latest versions of the software and hardware, and everything is going to be provided over a single network. So it is going to be a very, you can say, robust network, which is going to give you a definitely a good performance. Next, we have a speed. Speed is something which is always seen uh, good if you talk taking a cloud computing as a service, and it actually depends on what choices also you have made, but mostly the speed is very good into your cloud computing services. So on demand, whatever you want resources, you can ask for it. Even the bandwidth with which you can want, that also you can ask for it. So it gives you a lot of flexibility. If your speed is good, the task will be completed in a lesser time, and that will be helpful for everyone in your organization, I mean. Okay. Next is reliability. Cloud computing services, whatever you do, whatever data you put into, whatever tasks you do, everything is being backup. They have recovery mechanisms, they have many things that help you to store your data in an efficient way, and you can retrieve that at any point of time. So in cloud computing, you are connected with many, you can say, servers at single point of time. So all your data is going to be mirrored, or you're going to be saved on different cloud providers network. So you can easily back up the data in case if anything is being deleted from your end. Next, we have is on-demand self-service. So it simply refers that in cloud computing, or whenever you're going for a cloud service as a consumer, it you are asking or you are demanding for whatever you want. So whatever you want, it will be given to you in the form of utility, and we are going to pay only for that what you used or what you have asked for. So you can select any your services at any point of time. You can use that services, and whatever you are using or whatever you are, accessing that services, you're going to pay for only that. Just I've told you before also, it is just like an electricity bill that you're using, and at the end of the month you pay for. So the storing of the data, accessing of the data, and the control of the data, everything is being, counter checked by you, or it is something which is seen by you, and accordingly you can have a control over it. What are the limitations of cloud computing? So the limitations are, first, network connection dependency. You need to have a good internet connection to have those services. If you don't have, then it is difficult. Next, limited features. Depending on the cloud providers, every provider will not give you all the features. Everybody provides you different services. So you have to be very much wise while selecting that which cloud provider you are selecting, because everybody have their own terms and conditions, they have their own features they are working with, so you have to look into that aspect over here. Next, we have loss of control. So whenever you're going for a cloud computing service, you can't expect that the control is on your hand. The control is actually over the cloud provider who is providing with the services. So they have their own data centers, they have their own servers. Okay, and with this, they are, having a control over it. So you don't have more control, they have more control over your data. Security is a still area of research in cloud computing. So you have to take care, because there is no mechanism as such which will protect your data. You have to do protection from your end. What mechanism you can use? You can use encryption techniques to protect your data, your confidential data. But you as a cloud provider, you cannot expect him that he is going to protect your data. You have to take care of your data, and most of the time, the cloud hacking are something which has been seen in the recent months. This is increasing day by day. So you have to take care of your own data. You can't trust providers that they are going to do it for you. Last is technical issues. There are many technical issues which arises while you are accessing the services. Most of the common technical issue is your network issue, which we usually face. So you can contact the customer support or your cloud provider directly, but you cannot expect them that they are going to be 24/7 available for your request. At times, it will take more time to get your issues to be resolved, or you have to pay extra money in some cases as well. So next we have the cloud computing examples. So few of the examples which are, we are using cloud computing in our day-to-day life, and few of the examples are your Google Docs, your Microsoft Office 365, where all your data is being stored over the cloud. You can access that data at any point of time. You can share that data with anyone. And the best part is whenever your data is stored over the cloud, you can use it at any point of time, anywhere you want. That's the best part. So rather of having a physical storage, we have a virtual storage, and this becomes very helpful. Next, we have examples as like email, calendar, Skype, WhatsApp, everything. All of these applications are making use of the cloud storage, where all the data is being stored remotely and it is being backup as well. Mostly, in WhatsApp also the backupping takes place at 4 a.m. because at that particular time, there is not much communication or there is not much data sharing or over the application. So usually they select a backup time where they back up all it and they save it over the cloud platforms. Next, Zoom. This is one of the most common app and which has been used very well in this COVID-19 situation. So this is again a cloud-based platform which helps you to have a video and audio conferencing. Everything, your meetings, whatever data is there, you can access at anywhere at any point of time, and this is stored over your clouds. So this is the cloud computing examples. Okay, so basically there are three types of clouds: public cloud, private cloud, and hybrid cloud. So we are going to look this type of clouds, each of the clouds much in detail in the next lecture. That's it for the day. Thank you everyone.